booked our vacation back in December before the new COVID mandate came out. And as you guys have all heard about the new COVID mandate that in order to get back to United States, you have to have proof of negative COVID testing results. So what happened to us is that we booked our vacation back in December. Before our vacation, we weren't sure how it's going to turn out, what's going to happen here, where we're going to take the COVID test, but we still decided to go because we planned this vacation for a long time and we were really excited of going here with our whole family. So we took our 2 girls and we came to Mexico, and it's so beautiful here. It is so gorgeous. The weather is just beautiful. The beach is gorgeous. We know that a lot of people have canceled their trips because they weren't sure what's gonna happen here, if they're gonna be allowed to even stay at the resort, or what's gonna happen with the COVID testing and everything. But we still decided to go, and the funny thing is that when we boarded our plane to Mexico, there were only 14 other people with us, or actually it was 14 people all together on the whole entire plane. So we had the whole entire plane all to ourselves. The flight attendants were very nice. They didn't even care if our children wore masks or not, because it was just 14 people and they just had their own little time and we had our time, and everything went great. When we came to Mexico, we went straight to our resort, and this place is just so beautiful. There are barely any people here. It is so nice. The service here is unbelievable, and we are so happy that we never canceled anything. But of course, when we just got here, we had all the questions like where we're gonna take the COVID test and what's gonna happen and when do we have to take it and everything. So when we just got here, the first thing we wanted to find out was about how the COVID testing is gonna happen. So we went to our concierge and they told us everything, like what we need to do before the test. But the most important thing is that they offer on-site testing at our resort at no additional charge. So it was completely free, and we just had to take it 3 days before we go back home to the United States. So 3 days before we left, all of our family went to the COVID testing site, which is like right inside the resort. And they tell you like some certain things that you can or cannot do before they perform the COVID test. So we couldn't eat or drink 2 hours before the test, and since our test was so early in the morning, we couldn't brush our teeth before the test. So when we got there, we all had to wear masks, even though in the resort it's completely mask free. Like you don't have to wear a mask anywhere. Like we forgot about our masks the moment we stepped inside the resort, although the whole staff here wears masks. They wear masks, but people don't. Anyways, so we got to the room where they do the COVID testing, and it's actually a really very simple process. What they do is there's one guy, one medical worker. He's covered from head to toe in his protective equipment. He wears goggles, a mask, a face shield, his gown, his shoe covers, like everything, he's like covered completely. And so what they do is before you go ahead and take the COVID test, you have to fill out all of your information, like your who you are and your passport info and everything. And so he already had those documents in front of him, and he just called us one by one. We had to sit in the chair like this, and they have like this little test thingies that he puts inside your nose. He actually goes really deep, like really deep, but it's just like for a few seconds long. He gets it in there through your nose, he takes it out, he puts it in. It's almost like a pregnancy test. He puts it in inside the thing, and within 2 or 3 minutes it shows you negative or positive. Like it's so super fast. So he did it to all of us. We traveled with our kids. One is 8 years old, the other one is 3 years old. Of course there were some tears just for a little bit, but after like 5 or 10 minutes, they even forgot they had the test. So he showed us the results right away. Of course, thank God, we're all negative. And then he said that the official results are gonna come in 24 hours after. He's gonna get, like, they're gonna give us like official documentations along with our along with the picture of our passport proving that, you know, this is us and we have negative COVID. And that's pretty much it. So, I mean, the whole process is very simple. We got so many calls, so many texts from different people. They're like, you know, how is it over there? Like, what do you have to do to go to Mexico? What do you have to do to come back to United States? So to go to Mexico, you don't have to do anything, but to come back to United States, you have to do the test. And our resort is really awesome because, you know, we could do the test right here in the resort without leaving the resort, with our trying to find like a doctor or a clinic who would do the test. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you guys, don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid to take the COVID test. If you are thinking about going somewhere, call the resort, call the hotel, and find out if they offer the test and like on, you know, on the site. Because it's going to be so much simpler for you, especially if you're traveling with the kids or like with a big group of people. Find out as much information as possible before you plan your trip, before you go somewhere. And our advice to you is don't be afraid to travel. Have fun. So we also asked the medical worker, what if the test is positive? Like, what if you do test positive for COVID? And he said that if you do test positive for COVID, they usually will do a second round of testing, and the second round of testing will be more detailed, I guess. And then if the second test is also going to prove that you're positive, then they quarantine you for 2 weeks and you can't leave your room. You know, you stay in your room for 2 weeks. I guess you can order room service and whatnot, but yeah, you just have to wait for 2 weeks, and then you take another COVID test, and if it's negative, you're free to go. So we have also found out that if you do test positive for COVID, you actually have two choices. What can happen afterwards? You can either leave the resort and you can, you know, make your own accommodations where you can stay, or this resort provides you with a room where you can stay for free for 2 weeks. All you have to do is just pay for the room service. Of course, you can't go out anywhere. You have to stay inside the room. And if you do decide to have your family stay with you, they can stay with you as well, but you do have to pay for them, but it's going to be a very special rate for them, cheaper than it usually is. And then after the 2 weeks, you will have to take the test again, and hopefully you will test negative and you're free to go and fly home.